Okay then. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hi everybody, it's Cranky Gamers UK. Very, very differently and probably very, very rusty. You can see two of us faces. Hi, this is Tozol. And
Hello.
There's Ricky.
Hello.
The Xbox One sign is Steve. Sadly got no camera. Guys, this is our we've had no end of problems. We've been sat here after the Microsoft E3 trying to set this Google Hangout. It's all new, it's all flashy, so you're going to have bare bones, probably noises and everything. So, but this is a way forward. We're actually hoping to do the podcast this way. So this is a first test. I'm hoping to put this up. This should be broadcast live. Don't know how many people are doing it. Apologies for any no chat windows at the minute, because we are going to plan to, as I say, do the podcast and then probably have a monthly live question and answer. We're planning to probably move recording to an evening, a Sunday or Saturday evening, so it's more, we can get more viewers. So basically, bear with us. This is the first test. Hopefully this works. We are going to try it. So anyway, you've both seen the guys here. It's Ricky and Steve-O as usual. We've just sat and witnessed, well I say just, probably about 2.5 hours ago now with all this meeting. We've just watched the E3 keynote. The way we're going to do it, guys, we've done this every year. We've all got notes in front of us. I'm going to be kind of the compere, go through how the show unfolded, and then obviously we're going to talk a bit about it and probably give us views at the end. So, as I say, bear with us. We will crack on. And here we go. The show did start, as we all saw, at 5:30 on time, actually. I don't know if any of you guys caught Major Nelson's little bit of a pre-show. I watched mine. Firstly, where did you watch it, guys? I watched it on Xbox.com.
Yeah. I watched it on... yeah, where were you, Steve? Sorry, go on, mate.
No, I was on the Xbox in the lounge, and I was on the laptop with Jeff Keighley in the kitchen.
Oh, right, so you'd got backwards then.
Yeah.
Sounds like a game of Cluedo, doesn't it? I was with Jeff Keighley in the kitchen. Yeah, I was on a laptop in a hotel. I started off with GameStop. Yeah. And I couldn't get a decent feed, so I jumped onto game trailers, and I also had it on the iPhone as a backup.
Yeah, I must admit I'd got the big PC on and the MacBook as well. MacBook was ready in standby. I usually watch game trailers because they are flawless, but got to stand up. Xbox.com did a fine job. So let's go. Anyway, Phil Spencer come on the stage with cheers that everybody went mental and got excited. I must admit, the actual stadium was a good choice. The big crowd and the stage setup I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty good, wasn't it? I can't remember last year's though, so my memory's gone a bit.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I will say about last year compared to this year. There was very few hiccups. Last year was littered with paused videos, out of sync videos, and everything. This one went really smoothly, I thought. But anyway,
it didn't dare go wrong though.
No, they didn't, and I give them a big thumbs up. It went absolutely smoothly. What I will say, I was surprised to hear Phil give a talk, well, a bit of a mini talk about Sony and Nintendo and how we're all here for games. That made me chuckle a bit, but let's just crack down the notes, as I say. I think the first one, the first clip I saw, and obviously, guys, feel free to correct me here because obviously we all do different notes. The first thing I've got on mine was Activision Sledgehammer took to the stage and hit everybody straight away with, of course, Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare. I'll give you my view first, and I've got to say, I was bad for this. When they first shown this out, I think a few months ago they gave this the first look. I didn't like this at all. I thought it was too futuristic. I thought it was very poor and not very nice at all. It was the usual stuff. I have to say, and get ready for the first big shock of this evening, I was surprised. I thought it looked really good. I don't know what you guys thought.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't then?
Come on, Call of Duty. We know what it's going to be like, don't we? It's pretty standard stuff at the end of the day.
But it was. I just admit, I liked the way. I liked the way it looked. I liked the grenades they used. I thought that was pretty cool. That was new. But is that what you think then, Ricky? Do you think it was?
Well, I'm just getting no. It didn't show me anything new. Nothing that impressed me. I mean, we've got Titanfall, haven't we? How different is it going to be from that? I know it's going to have a campaign mode probably, but We see this year after year, don't we? These fantastic videos, a tiny bit of gameplay that just, it looks like every other year, but the graphics are getting better. But is there any innovation there?
Do you know? I mean, I don't want to give my thoughts away too early on the whole of the show, but I think you've really hit the nail on the head within the first minute, really, of my thoughts. But we'll come to that as we go along. And I've got to say, I mean, I do agree with what you're saying. Well, like I say, I'll save it because my overall assumption of the whole show's got a bit of... And I'm not going to be negative, I'm just going to say what we saw and how I felt at the time, which is the best thing. Any views on Call of Duty, Steve? I know you're a big fan.
Yeah, no, it looked okay. Obviously, on the Xbox, playing on the big TV there, it's you don't get the full scale of the picture, really, unfortunately, with a feed like that. I'll have to watch some footage afterwards, I think, to watch it again see. But graphically, it's always going to be poor. Don't take any of what you see on there as the graphics too much because it's a stream anyway.
But I have to say, I think Ricky's right though. It should be now. Graphics should not even come into the equation anymore. We are next gen, aren't we? We're next gen. And
I don't think we need to say they're next gen, do we? We need to say this is current generation. We just keep it from there.
Yeah, I mean, I had a podcast this afternoon actually having this very argument, and it went on for about half an hour, 40 minutes, just on about what's next gen, what's current gen, and what's any gen. So, but anyway, I mean, Call of Duty. I agree with Ricky. It is a bit more of the same, and I think again we'll see.
What's the exclusivity on it? I kind of because you're writing notes at the same time.
I'll tell you what I've got in my notes.
DLC?
I put great opening video, looks nice, looks a bit Halo-ish, futuristic gameplay, boosters, mech tanks, crazy flying creature things. They was weird. I mean, that just didn't look Call of Duty at all. But yeah, I think the exclusivity, Ricky, is DLC. I think that's what I caught. Is that what you heard, Steve?
I think so. Yeah, I made some notes, but I was eating my sausage and mash at the time.
Oh, that's what. Was that your birthday treat?
Is that it? By the way, while we mentioned that, let's interrupt the podcast and give Steve a very big happy birthday. It is his big 5-0. Is it today, Steve?
It is today. Yes, it is.
Happy birthday, mate. Let's get that out of the way. So,
I'm now officially an old git. So.
No, you're officially 21. It starts again, I do believe. So. Anyway, moving on, guys. Old Dan Greenwald makes his normal, customary appearance at the E3, is there every year. I'm sure he's got shares in Microsoft. But you knew what was coming. It was Forza. The big announcement now, I mean, funnily enough, and I've actually traded my Forza in this morning, believe it or not.
No.
Yes, I did, honestly.
Right.
What I've done, I've heard on the podcast I've been wanting to trade some games for a while. I think I mentioned to you last night, Ricky, that Shop 2, I don't know if any guys out there realise that Shop 2 have started this week a brand new game trading system. And I wanted to test it out, see what it's like. You send your games off and they chuck in a credit to the store. So I've put a few games in just to get some credit. May even buy Watch Dogs yet, I'm not sure. But yeah, Forza went. Let's get back to that. The big announcement was the Nürburgring, I think it's called.
Nuremberg.
Yeah, it's been in every... I think we had this discussion, Steve, a few podcasts ago, a few months back, where we was arguing, should this have been in the game from day one? Well, whether this was a plan in advance, it makes no difference, because not only did they announce it, full 16-mile circuit with apparently millimetre precision, but they also announced it was out now and free. So... I bet you've already downloaded it, Steve.
I will be later, yeah.
2.2 gig I've just seen on Twitter. Is it size?
That's right, because they did say that they were going to rescan it, so hence it's taken this long to come out, and people were moaning that it should be out on day one, but we know it was an early release anyway. So
do you think there was any plans to actually charge for this at all?
I don't think so. After they've just announced the Game of the Year edition, haven't they, with all the tracks?
Yeah, I saw that 2 days ago. That was quite a surprise. Forza 5 and extra stuff is albeit, but the big announcement from old Dan was I suppose carry on from what we heard last week of Forza Horizon 2. And I've got to say, I like the look of this again, but I was a massive Forza Horizon fan anyway, so I don't know what you guys' thoughts on Forza Horizon. It is available for pre-order right now, they said, so thoughts, guys? Interested? Not?
Yes, definitely.
That's my phone on the floor, guys.
Yeah. I quite like the look of it. I mean, it looked absolutely stunning.
Yep.
In my stream, it just looks amazing. But then again, I haven't played Forza 5, so I'm coming from an angle where, you know, they could woo me with anything really. But I'm probably interested on those you guys that have played Forza 5. I mean, did it blow you away with it?
Well, what blew me away is they got the weather graphics in there now as well.
Yeah.
Which is going to be amazing.
I mean, they're doing. I think in my notes I've got written down they've got a new club system, 1,000 members allowed. Whether that takes off, they've got the driver tour as well. Instant, no waiting in lobbies for multiplayer racing. That also is cool if you're into that. September the 30th. It's out September 30th. Which I think was a good trend early in this show. I've got to say it was a lot of stuff, but they had to. In my opinion, they had to start showing some stuff. Forza Horizon, I'm a fan. To answer your question, Ricky, my Forza 5's already gone. I've just told you. I wasn't too over impressed with it. It was much of a muchness I'd seen before. So, but I must admit, I am really looking forward to Forza Horizon, and I will be getting this. That is probably one of the highlights I've seen in this show.
Yeah, I think what you're going to guarantee with this is in the next when's it out? 4 months. Oh, yeah,
September the 30th.
June, July, yeah, so 4 months away. But what you can probably guarantee with this, it is gonna be good because it's got a good, you know, it's not like the recent releases where they are new IPs, they are trying new things, and whereas Forza's got a massive sort of baseline to run from. So I think you're gonna guarantee this is gonna be a hot game. You know, those who haven't got Forza 5, those may be looking for. They'll probably bundle this, won't they?
They will. I think the rumor at the time, well, not the rumor, but I think a discussion at the time of the Xbox was should they have even bought number 5 out, and I think that was merely I wouldn't say forced out or pushed out in with the release of the console. I think there'd have been much better waiting and just hitting us with Forza Horizon 2, because people might start to think a bit overkill. I don't know what
being so early. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's Forza. They're bringing the Game of the Year edition. Now they're talking Forza 2. So, I mean, all in all, one of my favourite things of the show, it was, I will admit already, that Forza 2 did open up. But on to the next thing then, guys. A big online shooter, Evolve. I mean, I must admit, maybe me, I'd not heard of this before. Have I missed this?
No, I hadn't heard either.
No, but apparently it just showed us a kind of shooter called Evolve. Looked good. You could play as both the monster and the good guys, which I think was a bit of a thing that they pushed. And there's a beta exclusive just to the Xbox One, so that was a bit of a clip.
I must have missed this because
that was very short.
Was it really quick? Okay.
Yeah.
I must have been the point where I was switching from GameStop to Game Trailers. So it was because it went to Assassin's Creed straight after. So Evolve did. I saw some videos. Is that kind of I saw a shooter that looked a little bit like Unreal Tournament.
Yes, exactly that. Yes, that
was it. Right, okay.
Medic and all sorts, and then at the end of the video they said, but the twist is you can also play as the monster, and it showed someone playing as this giant thing.
Didn't they say it was by the guys who did Left 4 Dead, or was I dreaming that bit?
It might have been. I mean, like you say, when you're taking notes, it's hard to be notes looking and listening to everybody who's coming on stage, so it's a bit hard. But yeah, I mean, it looked good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I need to see a bit more of that.
No, Ricky's always touched on it, and the next thing, I was impressed with this, but again, we're coming back to it, something we've seen before, of course, Assassin's Creed Unity. They showed a very, very cool 4-player live on-stage multiplayer, which I like the look of. I mean, Steve, I bet you was really into this. This is your cup of tea.
I was sweating myself, I must admit. I thought the 4-player co-op is a great idea. We don't have that a lot in games at the moment, so...
No,
that's right.
It was good,
and it's going to be the good next gen's title to start with, I think.
I mean, again, though, touching on it, I don't want to go over it too much. I mean, me and Ricky, I think like this. Are we just getting too many of the same old?
Well, don't you think? My notes, my first line was reminiscent of the Assassin's Creed 1 original trailer. I think with a massive crowd scene. Do you remember the guys? think was it which one was where they were getting hung? There were some people being hanged, and
That might have been number 2 one.
was it 1 or 2?
It was one of the early ones. Yeah.
So I think what they were trying to show off was the ability to have massive amount of characters on screen at the same time. So I think that was quite impressive. But I think I've seen it before. Do you know what I mean? In slightly lower res.
That was a very for me anyway. This was the kind of feeling for the whole show for me. You know. Well, we'll give us views at the end. I mean, I could say at any time, at any point of this, I think, this show. But we'll move on. Next clip on stage I saw, guys, was a bit disappointingly a bit short, I thought, to say it's supposed to be October the 7th this year. Clip from BioWare for Dragon Age Inquisition. I was expecting a bit more of this. We only got a short clip.
So well, blinked and it went, I think.
Is it due out this year, is it? I missed the start.
October the 7th.
Wow, it's near my birthday.
I was expecting more, I've got to say.
Yeah, this kind of, for me, the amount of times I wrote Skyrim-esque down on my notes. This is the first time I wrote it, and not the last time tonight.
I think I know when it's going to come again. When we'll talk about probably The Witcher 3, but we'll talk about it.
But these games aren't old. You know, we know Dragon Age is, we know what it is, and we know what The Witcher is, and we know what Skyrim is. Yeah. I think every time I saw something like this, I was thinking, Skyrim 2. But obviously, nothing ever materialised like that. But it's another great looking game. But you know, I personally don't play these types. Unfortunately, the Dragon Age I never bothered with. So
there's a lot of hours you've got to put in, isn't they? That's the only thing with these.
And I haven't got that amount. I haven't got that time to dedicate to something like this when I can just play Skyrim. So
moving on to a game that was next that you probably can put a lot of time in, and I have to say this was one I was criticising for showing us last year, but then this was probably one of the biggest events on the stage of this show, and that was, I have to say, really funny, superbly presented, and that was of course Sunset Overdrive, and they went on to show the premise of the game where energy drinks are turned into mutants, and it's really cartoony. What I loved is I loved the character, I liked the way it was presented, but what I liked is when things died, the little cartoon graphics of saying splosh or all the weird things, I thought that was quite good, and I didn't like the look of this last year, but I've got to say this was one that I like the look of.
Have you changed your mind then?
I have, yeah. I think it looks good.
Yeah, I liked it. On the roller coaster, it looked a little bit like Infamous, is it? With the
with all the powers and flying across the wires and stuff.
That's right. So that was quite good. I love the. It looked fantastic. You could see the for instance, and it really looked clear.
It looked brilliant, didn't it? Yeah. I mean, one other thing to say about it. I mean, again, jotting notes down. It's got an 8-player. Multiplayer called Chaos Squad that's been added to it. It said at the end, and it, of course, it's out on October the 28th. But some may say about time because this was first shown last year, wasn't it? So
do you think the game might have a lot of a lot to it? I mean, it looked a bit Dead Rising, and a lot of people were moaning about Dead Rising getting. Comedy, kills, boredom. I don't know. Did it?
Well, I mean, I was going to ask you because I've wrote this in my notes. I was going to ask you too. Did it give you a clue, like there was a single-player game to it, or a pure online shooter, whatever? It seemed to mix of both to me. I couldn't quite grasp what they was throwing at.
Dead Rising 3 just came to mind straight away. Anyway, it'd be something similar. And will you get bored of it after an hour or two? I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're good at this. We've done this for years because you've just took us into the next little link there, brilliantly, Steve, of course. A very strange thing that they showed us. Dead Rising 3, arcade adventure, and I did write the whole thing, I stopped. But it was fun. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. Yeah, but apparently I think it's out right now into it. It's coming, it's DLC.
No, it's available now, it said.
Yeah, but it's a DLC pack for Dead Rising 3. They left that bit right till the end. It just looked a fun online crazy shooter again, didn't it?
Is it free? Is it free DLC or is it you got paid?
They didn't mention that, I have to say. I didn't check.
But you have to pay for it. They would have said if it was free, I feel.
I mean, the push of it to fans is clearly that you can use any Capcom character virtually from any game, and they showed you some real cool characters from way back, from Street Fighter to all other games. So that did look fun.
Even the Tofu Man from Resident Evil.
It was a little presentation. Moving quickly on to the presentation that I thought was the most uncomfy, horrible, I don't want to be here, please get me off this stage moment. I mean, whether this was me, I don't know, but poor old Alex Rigopoulos from Harmonix came onto the stage to plug the Harmonix game of Disney Fantasia. He literally said 5 lines about it. It just looked so uncomfortable. He then went on to say, "Oh, we are though bringing back," and I was sat there thinking, "Please, please, 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 guitar ready." And he said, "Dance Central Spotlight's coming at the end of this year." I mean, what I will say first, I've never seen a man, and this was going to be my point in this show to talk about, well, the lack of the Kinect has been literally
title, isn't it?
I'm not joking. They may as well have walked on stage at the start, got the Kinect, and stood on it. Because there was a bloke there that's put his life and soul into this Disney Fantasia for the last 3 years. He was on the stage for 2 minutes. He looked so uncomfortable. That was the last mention of Kinect at any point in this entire show. I mean, I don't want to sound bad and I don't want to sound negative, but please, why? You know,
I don't know.
There's something worth listening to. This afternoon, while I was sitting in the sun for a bit, I listened to a 10-minute podcast with Major Nelson and Spencer.
I didn't get time to listen to that. I just missed it.
And he does mention about keeping the Kinect plugged in,
Yeah.
even if the games aren't supporting it.
Yeah, and I went, I think it was off Video Games Magazine website I followed, and this was, I think it must have been a carry-on from that little podcast, and the people below that were so disappointed, "You've let us down, you've not pushed it." And then I think one person made a comment and says, "Well, Major Nelson, it so happens you can switch it off with just a button press." And I thought, well, you know what, he's got a point, but overall, guys, Kinect, and I have to say, Steve, me and you's got it. So disappointing, really poor.
Let's just say I'm going to be using it for the UI at the moment.
Well, what else is there, mate? Well, there is nothing.
No,
is there?
You never know.
No, there was no Fallout 4.
The thing is.
Oh, did you hear the?
Oh,
sorry, Nicky, but did you hear the post? I saw a post either today or yesterday. Where was it? One of the big games, the Destiny boys who's making Destiny, have said that they're pulling out all Kinect support to give it the extra graphic boost.
Okay.
So that was being pulled, being physically told today, we're not supporting the Kinect anymore. We're taking it out. And again,
fair enough.
It just seems another bad press for the Kinect. So,
and the fact that they didn't show any Disney Fantasia, did they?
No,
they just mentioned it, didn't they?
He just mentioned it.
He did mention it. No clip, nothing. Now I watched a clip 2 days ago when I searched for Harmonix for some story, and I watched about a 14-minute video. But you know what was funny? It was from last year's E3.
Okay.
And it was an on-stage E3 demo of last year, and it looked pretty cool. But he just looked so uncomfortable, the lad did, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you think about from every Xbox that sells now that doesn't come with Kinect, it's going to be harder for the families like me. If my kids like the look of Disney Fantasia, I need that Kinect to play it, don't I? So and they didn't show anything. The thing is, anything with Disney on will sell. It will sell like hotcakes, but. Yep. Who knows? And I personally had absolutely, as he was mentioning, in fact, before he even talked about Disney Fantasia, he had that Dance Central thing behind his feet, didn't he? And I literally wrote no interest ? Because this game does not appeal to me. I don't know about you guys. I know I've seen a few videos of you singing away in the past, Toz, but I haven't seen you dancing yet.
This is why I want the music games. As regards Dance Central, we have had Dance Central both games in this house for the girls, because obviously girls, and they have played it, and it was okay. It was quite good. This one they've aimed at us this time. It looks like one of them arcade titles where they can just make it kind of similar to the other Harmonix one that we liked on the arcade store.
That's right.
The Rock Band Blitz. It looks like they've pushed the dance one now to that kind of mechanic.
They're going to go with new tracks each week, so it sounds like a cash cow.
It is a cash cow. Let's make some money. But then again, they've got to get some money, because I think they're going to get absolutely royally screwed on the Fantasia. So, shame. Yeah. Talking of games that was a shame for me, I mean, personally for me, the next guy that came on the stage was from Lionhead, of course. Now, Peter Molyneux with them, of course, and they was pushing the fantasy Fable world. Now, I have to say, in quite simple terms for me, this was my chance to go for a toilet break.
Oh, really?
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, and so if you guys want to give me your thoughts, because I just wasn't interested in this at all. I lost interest in Fable a long time ago. So, thoughts on it, guys?
Yeah, all right, okay, I'll give you my thoughts. So of course, they mentioned that there's a multiplayer beta coming later this year, and it's going to be out next year. That's the first initial. Well, no. It did look lovely, but again, the thing is, a Fable. I just don't.
It looked like Fable. Let's put it that way.
It did. It just looked like normal Fable, and I just can't stand all that pokey British humour rubbish. It's just me. I just don't get it. I just don't like that in my games. I think it's not funny for me. I don't know if I like a different sense of humour than most.
What was your thoughts, Steve?
Well, at first it made me smile. Some of that carry-on-esque humour that they use in the games. Because I'm sure I recognised one of the voices out of the 4 characters they were playing with there, going through the mission that they were doing, getting to that troll at the end.
Yeah.
So I will join the beta at least. That will be my first mission.
I caught the very end of the shooting. I must admit, I caught the end, and it just looked like another one of these arcadey type. Let's try and push out another multiplayer shooter that your friends can enjoy, but set in Fable universe, I guess. So,
yeah, it was quite cool. There was a good freeze gun in there, because a character got attacked and he froze him in mid-air, and then another guy come along and smashed him to pieces.
It's all the same.
That was quite good.
It's the same kind, mechanics, isn't it?
It is, and it's the same sort of. If you split up the different sort of powers you had in the Fallout of the Fable in the past, it's probably exactly the same, isn't it? So you freeze and everything else.
Yeah. What about the? Did you see the bit where you can play as the villain?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Multiplayer. I think it's in the multiplayer. I'm not too sure. I didn't quite catch it, but
it is.
Kind of
they mentioned that last year, didn't they?
Yeah, it kind of zoomed out to like a real-time strategy kind of view. It looked a little bit like Dota, actually.
Yeah.
Where you could set up the world and just put lots of monsters in the way of good characters. Yeah, it looks interesting. I certainly, it's not going to make me buy an Xbox One.
It'll be a beta that everybody can at least try, won't it? If I guess everybody's going to have easy access.
Yeah.
Just one little word before you mention British comedy. Sad news tonight. Did you see, guys, that Rick Mouse passed away?
Yes, awful.
Sad news. I won't broadcast it on here because it's a bit of a swear. But if you haven't seen it yet, go and look at Aid Edmondson's tweet that he's put out this evening. And I have to say, it sums the pair up. It was really good, and I hope everybody gets it. Because it was just very sad to see Paul.
Yeah, he's awesome live, or it was when I saw him anyway. He was really good.
Yeah, family members went to see the Bottom Show live once, and they came back and said it was one of the best things they've ever seen. But sad news. Okay, guys, moving on. Project Spark was the next quick video, and this again went into my category of quick video. They seemed to have a lot to tell us in the video, but then didn't want to show us. And very strangely, at the very end of the video, if people don't know, Project Spark is a bit of a game engine where you can design and create your own games. I will say, I don't know if Steve has, I've had a go at this, and it's damn hard to get to grips with.
It's going to take a lot of hours.
And also, though, Steve, I don't know if you've got to the point I gave up on it when I saw, I think it was a beta, I don't know if it's open yet, I'm not quite sure because I gave up pretty early, but what I saw with Project Spark, I saw a store where you had to pay real money for extra bits.
That's right, and there was like these different sort of dust you use in the game or credits.
And that was the day I turned it off and never went back to it. So
it's still on my hard drive. I need to delete it maybe, but
They reckon they got over a million users.
But you know what? In my hours play though, Ricky, I think I attempted 5 different categories of game and tried it, and I've got a feeling that my statistics show that I've designed 5 games. And I bet I haven't. All I've done is started 5 openings to try and make a game, and literally nowhere.
Didn't hold much interest in it.
It didn't. No, they sold it well last year, though. Then didn't they?
I think that if you think of, I've put will the community use it? I don't think they will. It looks like an add-on to Fable. With Little Big Planet. Kind of create your own, because I've never played that. I haven't played the beta, and I really had no interest last year. I have no interest this year. Who the hell is Conker?
Conker. Oh,
Don't you
come
know?
on. Oh, come on.
Well-
That is a very poor. I was going to.
Well, I kind of thought I recognised him, but maybe I haven't seen him for many years. What was he?
Conker's Bad Fur Day, one of the Rare games, the Rare studio, one of the best. If you have not played Conker's Bad Fur Day, go and play it. It was a game made for 18. I think it may have had an 18 certificate.
It did say 10
Oh,
years
maybe I
ago
was
as well.
too young. Maybe I was
Yeah,
too young to
That's
play
it. Yeah, you're too young. Okay, we
Yeah.
buy that one. But he did make an appearance, which I thought was a very strange, weird thing. I've got to say. But
Yeah, I mean, it was-
Conker in it.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Do the community have enough imagination about them to be bothered to put the time in to make these worlds? Like you just said, and it's kind of, I don't know. It's going to fight with Minecraft there, isn't it? And I don't think it's going to win.
Do you have enough time for all these games though that are like this? You can only pick one, can't you?
The thing is, though, guys, it's been going a year already, and the statistics they showed on the video, by all accounts, there's people making games already. So whether they are or not, I've not been in it a long, long time, so who knows? So maybe somebody out there can tell us if they've been in it. Moving on then, guys, another short but very nice video from a studio, Mon Studios. It showed a thing, and I've wrote in my notes, I don't know if you guys thought it, straight away I've typed, this looks very similar to Child of Light.
I was thinking that, yeah.
And it came on, and then it showed a beautiful bit of a video, and it's coming out in the end of this year, 2014. It's a title called Ori and the Blind Forest, but very, very similar to Child of Light.
Yeah.
Any views on it, guys, or do you want to move on?
Yeah,
Not
it's
for me.
okay. Look good.
Yeah, it did look nice. I'm going to say it looked very nice. The reason I'm saying move on is because
Yeah.
then the big thing come. We had the music. We had the shivers and the chills of the music. I got excited. It is, of course, Halo. They came on, the girl, Bonnie Ross, came on from 3-4 Year Industries, and she started talking about the journey of Master Chief. They showed a clip of Master Chief jumping out of his ship, then trying to get somewhere else, and this weird new character. I thought they was going to show the new one, the Halo 5 Destinations or whatever. But no, they then took great excitement to show us a thing called Halo Master Chief Collection, which I've got loads of notes. It's the entire whole Halo games, bought out and redone, retouched. He took great pleasure in announcing that Halo 2 has been all done in a classic and a new classic button you can change. And then great cheers again for the multiplayer, because it's there exactly as it was 10 years ago. They showed some clips. I've got to say, I have no desire at all. I was not interested. I'm a Halo fan. I've played the games. I love the games. They've got all the achievements. It's on one disc. They did, though, they say, to get into the Halo 5 beta, it's only acceptable through this game, which is a little bit of a naughty.
Yeah,
Whether they
they've
change
done
that
that
later.
before,
Yeah,
haven't
they
they?
have. Thoughts, guys? The Halo box set, basically, in a word, on one disc. Anybody interested whatsoever?
Yeah,
I am.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I am.
Without a doubt.
You've surprised me, guys. You really have. You've blown me away.
No,
So,
I played a lot of multiplayer on Halo 3, I think it was. Although I found it awkward, but I liked it and it was good. Now, the thing that got me 100 plus maps, 1080p, 60 FPS, dedicated servers, 4,000 gamer score points.
That's
if you're into that.
Yeah, just every game.
That's
isn't
a
it?
mission
Right.
in itself, isn't
So
it?
that's cool.
Let me ask you a
That's
question,
cool.
though, guys.
But
Let me
just before,
Go on.
we now have Twitch streaming, where we didn't have that before on
True.
any of the previous Halo games.
But
Now,
my question, though, Ricky, 4,000 gamer score, yeah? 4,000 gamer score. What happens if you've got the gamer score from the previous versions of the game?
I think it'll be new. You'll have a Master Chief collection.
Do you think it'll be
definitely.
brand new, completely 4,000 new achievements?
I do. I do. Otherwise, they would have. It'll probably be the same achievement, because I think you could do that on. Was it Lego Star Wars?
Yeah.
And then Lego Star Wars: The Ultimate Collection, or whether it was 6 games instead of the 3, you could get the same achievements but through a different game. So they've done it before.
Was you surprised they didn't show more of the Halo 5 Guardians, though?
Probably haven't got any. They probably only got of FMV. I don't think there's probably nothing created. I mean, what are we 6+ months away from a beta? Probably a year. I reckon this will be November 2015.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. What's your thoughts on the Master Chief Collection, Steve? Are you both going to be buying it?
Well, yeah, I had the spoilers because I haven't played 4 yet.
No way.
They told me the end. And I thought, I'd never got around to playing it. I knew about this collection for some time. I'm sure you did as well.
Can I say something? Whenever I go Halo, just multiplayer straight for me. I don't know why.
Really?
That must have been where I was. I didn't even play the campaigns on either.
Well, that's actually completely opposite to me because I literally played every campaign and played no multiplayer.
No, I don't give a toss about all that space story.
I did both.
Bullshit. I didn't really. No, I didn't bother with it. But
yeah. So
Sorry.
You didn't mention something. Halo Nightfall. They run about as well. Was it that TV show?
That's the TV show. I was just going to say they moved in between the talk of the beta. In between there, they said that they've now in production. It's coming soon. It's not going to be far away. But yeah, again, I thought was expecting clips again. I have to say. Don't know about you guys from that, but yeah.
And what's Guardians?
That's the new
one. Halo 5.
That's the one we're talking about. It's not going to be out until next year.
Oh, right. What did you mention right at the beginning of this? I thought you said Halo 5 something.
That's what I was just trying to get to the end of my notes to find the real title. Yeah, I did. I'd forgot. That's all. I was just. It's called Halo 5 Guardians. That's what I was trying to get.
So that is the new game, Halo 5 Guardians.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the idea of this though, as they did say, there's a lot of people that have probably never played Halo. From this.
Yeah, that's a new generation. I mean, if you go back to Halo 2, not playing.
I was multiplayer. Yeah, I tell you what, I did. If you try, I think I got into Halo 1 and 2 after. I never had an Xbox One, so I didn't play them. So Halo 3 was my first Halo experience, and then I think I tried going back to Halo 2. And it was just, it's like now. I think if you went back to Halo 3 on the 360, it'd probably be just about passable. But,
But Ricky, you've hit the nail on the head, mate. They've said they're going to make them all HD, 60 frames, all done up nicely and snazzy. So,
which is why I'm slightly more interested. This is the killer. I was waiting for Gears of War, didn't see any. So this is the system seller.
For you.
Yeah, well, there's actually later on there's the system seller for me.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say later on, but we'll save that. It's a good one for you, Ricky. It's at Christmas as well, so that could be a very nice little taster for your Christmas box.
Indeed, yeah.
Okay then, guys, moving on. Phil Spencer come to the stage again, showed a couple of clips from a couple of games that I'd no idea what they were, so I literally skipped that until they bought out. Where's my next one? It was talking about the indie games. I just want to touch on this a little bit. A guy called Chris Charla came out. He's apparently showing a thing called Idea Xbox, is the indie developer program where people are able to self-publish all their indie games. This was controversial last year because Sony trumped them last year, didn't they? They was all into this indie stuff. These guys went. What's your thoughts, Steve, on this indie stuff?
Yes, they did show a few brief clips on some different games there. Some of them looked very interesting. I'm assuming will be downloadable only. I don't think they'll be on disc, will they?
No, they won't. Indies, it's like the old indie store on the Xbox 360.
So the old store will be back in that case. So that's good. It's good for the publishers to get this sort of stuff out, and the new guys that want to put a game together. So
yeah, I'm not too happy with the self-publishing. I think it'd be too hard to quality control it, and you might get the good stuff just disappearing amongst the mass.
I'd agree with
the arcade. I really like the Xbox Arcade. Every Wednesday, new game, 1 or 2 games every Wednesday. It took a few weeks to come out. Self-publishing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It said self-publishing, but Microsoft are very renowned for being very hard-lined, aren't they? I can't see them just throwing the reins and saying, "There you are, guys, do what you want, charge how much you want, and it's all yours." Can't see that.
Actually, one game I did see. There was a couple of games I did see in the list. I couldn't because it was spinning by so fast.
I was about to say that.
Couldn't write anything down.
Did you write any down? I
did.
Did you? Go on.
There's one game that I've already played, and it's called Lifeless Planet, and it's you can get it on the PC.
Yeah.
It's just come out on Steam. It's about a tenner. It's just got released last week on the 6th of June. Had a little play of the beta on this, and actually good fun. So it's actually I've done a little video of it on my channel, which is really, a little nice walkthrough. And that'll be. There's not much. I don't think there's any multiplayer in it. So it's a pure single game. But if that's the quality, some of the stuff that's coming out, we're in for a treat.
I got to say, I was a little underwhelmed with the video reel. I thought there was a few nice ones in there. They bring in 3s to the Xbox One as well. That was a big one they was talking about. That's been the phenomenon on the mobile devices. It's also, I don't know if you guys notice this, I've had a bit of tweets about this. This is a very interesting point. The little game of 3s that I think most people have heard about. The guy, the developer, interviewed pre-show, and I'd read this on Twitter yesterday. I think they've let it slip a bit. It's going to be playable in the Snap window. Actually playable in the Snap window.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that could be. Yeah, you could be watching the film and then playing 3s in the right-hand corner. So that's a little one they didn't push on, and I thought they would have done. So,
yeah, that's quite clever, but it's nothing. You're probably going to play it on your iPhone.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a shame. Yeah.
So anyway, moving on, because that was the indies. They pushed it. This is the next clip, and took me a while. I mean, you probably guys are sitting there. This is probably your highlight of the show. And I was sat there. I didn't get what it was until.
Oh, didn't you? I did.
Halfway through the clip.
As soon as I saw her pickaxe that she was using to climb on, when she fell.
That's when I got it.
Then for me.
I mean,
did you hear it? Yeah, when she fell, her little. Yeah. That was when I thought, it's Lara Croft.
What I did, it was a good intro. It was a psychologist saying, "Oh, you can start to go out now. I know you've had trauma, and you can't go out. Please go out and get to the world." And then I'm thinking, "What's this?" And I'm thinking, "This looks really good." Then she's running in a cave, and then it goes to the cave. When she peeled back the hood, I thought, "Holy crap!" It is, of course, Tomb Raider: Rise of Tomb Raider. I think it was called. Due out next year.
Title.
Yeah. So
Holiday 2015.
A shame, but one of the highlights for me, obviously, massive Tomb Raider fan. This will be.
Well, just on it then, and your expectations of it. Where would you like it to be set? Because the last one was set in the kind of Uncharted kind
desert island, weren't it?
Yeah. Would you want this to go urban?
I don't know. I would hate to see Tomb Raider go urban city. I really would.
Yeah, that's not Tomb Raider, though, is it?
I mean, Tomb Raiders. It's more. But like you
hit the point
though, Ricky. Are they now running out of places? They've been to temples and deserts, and they've been to a desert island. What can they do? I think with Tomb Raider, a lot of people might now be getting disillusioned, saying it's more of the same stuff, which I criticise highly. It's just that, like everybody, we've all got our absolute favourite games. This is mine, and I will just play it because of what it is, basically. So it's good to see.
I was jumping up and down seeing that. I was just thinking of you there, thinking, how were you jumping up and down on that at the time?
Well, to be honest, and this is probably sad for it, the first thing that come to my mind, I was saying, God, I hope it's out on the PS4. That's exactly what I went through my brain. Yeah, but yeah.
Of course it will be.
Yeah. About it. But anyway, moving on, guys, to this I thought was a cracking clip. A game not too bothered about. Ricky's touched on them before. There's a lot of them, and you don't like them because they take a lot of getting into. It was a big stage demo of Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I have to say, I like this gameplay. I'm not interested in the game, but the actual clip was awesome.
It looked pretty cool, didn't it?
Yeah, he managed to tag a big giant griffin. It went off, used powers to trail the blood trail, and what was cool, in between going to that actual quest, he met a girl who was being attacked, and he could just jump to that quest, finish that, and then continue on. And I think it was purposely made that way, but it looked nice. Looks like it plays good. Did any of you play Witcher 2?
No,
I tried Witcher 2 and I couldn't get into it for much of a reason that you've touched on, Ricky. It was hard. It was a lot of hours to put into it, and I couldn't get to it. But this looks good.
Yeah, there are some games out there. I mean, I do remember a similar game. I mean, again, I put Skyrim as my note now, which is no problem because I absolutely love Skyrim, and I want something that's gonna, bring that back to me. Now, I remember a few years ago there was a game. Is it Kingdoms of Amalur, which was meant to be
a superb game.
Yeah. Now, if this is kind of in that zone, now, unfortunately, I quite liked it, but I didn't like the controls in it. I didn't think they were as good and intuitive enough for me. That's just me. But yeah, I think this looks good. I'm looking forward to it. And any news on the release? Is it this year?
I didn't see any release on. Yeah, Witcher 3 is this year. I'm pretty certain.
No, I don't think so, because when we started off with the Inside just before IDE, Phil come up and said everything from here is 2015 and beyond.
Oh, he did. I didn't think he meant everything from now on, though. I didn't. Yeah,
so
I remember him saying
that. The first half of the show was this year, and then everything else next year.
Right. Good point, Steve. Good point. Bit of a question, Ricky, though. You say that you Skyrim. Would you have rather like to try timing this, or would you have rather them come on stage and said Skyrim 2?
No, I'm glad they said this.
Yeah.
The reason why, because I don't want Bethesda to waste their time on Skyrim 2 when they should be making Fallout 4. And hopefully at about 3 a.m. we might hear that.
Aren't you surprised? Well, fingers crossed, hopefully, that could be on there, but we'll see. I've got to go on to this next piece, because this was a real big build-up. Ken Lobb, creative director, Killer Instinct comes on, talks about that, how they bought it, and he likes rebooting old games. Big build-up, big video, music clip and everything, and he says, we're going to bring back an absolute classic, and I was, dun, 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 I'm there thinking, come on, and he went, Phantom Dust, and I went, what?
What?
Yeah,
I've never heard of that game in my life.
I'm not going to swear, but you can imagine that is exactly what I said to a certain degree.
And guys, we're old men here. Well, two of us are. Have you heard of it? What is it? No,
I've got to be honest.
I don't know. It looked kind of good, but I wouldn't know whether that was representative of what the old one.
Yeah, I think it is a bit of a fighter game, but I think all the crowd must have gone like, what?
Oh, I see. So it's another fighter game. So they did Killer Instinct, now they're doing Phantom Dust.
I think it is. Don't hold us to it because we don't know what it is. But anyway.
I think that's the way it looked, though. I think. Yeah,
it did. Next thing on we got to was Tom Clancy's The Division. They showed a very nice clip of it in the streets again. Look, but then again, Ricky, you say you like this. Then let me play devil's advocate. I wasn't too keen on Call of Duty. To me, these two look like two peas in a pod.
No, they don't. Call of Duty is big bang crash wallop, 2,000 things going on the screen at the same time.
You think it's more tactical?
It's slow. It's strategic. Yeah, this is a strategic.
Yeah, Tom Clancy is all about strategic, isn't he?
Call of Duty just bomb in and hope for the best, and I don't feel.
So, given the choice, then you'd be aiming towards this. Way before Call of Duty.
Yeah, my notes are PS4 because I know this is going to come out on PS4, so it's not going to be a system seller for me, unlike Halo. So, but I like the look of it. I like that there's a lot of depth to it.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think you're going to get that palette on Call of Duty. I don't think you're going to get that kind of depth.
Thoughts for you, Steve? I mean, you are a big Call of Duty fan. What about The Division? Which would, if you only could get one of them?
It would. Well, a year ago, my game for E3 was The Division anyway.
Yeah,
and that was an outstanding walkthrough up to the police cars and taking those guys out.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised it actually was shown. I was expecting more. Maybe they're probably more now as we speak on the Ubisoft.
I think you'll find it's probably more going on to PS4 show. If I'm being truthful.
Yeah. Did you? I don't know if they showed this last year or you've seen it before today, but didn't you love the map that he brought up
on the floor when it came up and the map?
Yeah, that was good innovation. Yeah. I like the look of that. I mean, the thing is, there's so many games trying different things with maps.
Yeah.
Ricky, didn't you see last year's thing, or don't you remember it then?
I can't remember. I do remember. Oh, did they?
Yeah, they're walking down the street. They brought the map up before they walked down before they went into the building and come out.
I'm right in saying then this was the big one everybody was excited about, but's now got delayed, hasn't it? I'm right in that.
That's right. Yeah.
To me, this is. It was reminiscent of The Last of Us for me in the graphics. I really thought the level of detail and I think in the slow pacedness of it just felt a bit like The Last of Us.
It was definitely one of the highlights. I will say it was a good looking game. Got to say.
Yeah, let's hope it lives up to that expectation as the year goes on. Yeah.
Moving on to a Chinese guy came on stage. I tried to write his name down, couldn't pronounce it, so I apologise. But I will say he showed a very, and I've put this, and I might be wrong in this, but I've put it in big bold letters. He showed a real nice clip of a game called Scalebound. I've put in massive brackets. Is this an hour and a half into the show, the first new IP that they had shown in the entire show? Am I right or am I wrong? No? Yeah. I put this. I mean, I might be wrong. I thought this was the very first new game, and I thought it took them an hour and a half to show a brand new game.
Yeah, that isn't an indie. Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Can't really class the. I mean, the indies are because that's just a pop. But as an actual standalone AAA kind of, this is the first one they showed, and there was an hour and a half into it. It looked good. Thoughts on it, guys? The guy with the scale armor fighting some awesome dragons. It looked pretty cool.
Oh yeah, it's a sort of Skyrim-esque again, isn't it? Thinking about that with all the dragons.
Yeah, it looked a kind of adventure, kind of fighter kind of thing. But first one. But anyway, let's get to the big news, because I think this news is probably the show stealer. I'm very surprised they probably didn't go. Well, did they go big on it? I don't know. David Jones comes to the stage talking about exclusive co-ops and multiplayers and dedicated servers, and then the music started and they showed a clip, and you heard the voice of the narrator, and it was, of course, the big one, Crackdown. Thoughts, guys? Because this, to me, highlighted the whole show.
Yeah, I think the opening, they could have done a lot more presenting it right at the beginning. Bring Dave Jones on.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh yeah, he did Crackdown.
Yeah.
And then I thought before they brought him out, they could have just everything could have gone black, and they could have just had that orb noise. When the orbs close by. I know they had it near the end, but I think right at the beginning that would have got everything
with Crackdown too, didn't they? They did the same similar
but do you know,
setup.
Do you know what they should have done with this? You're right, and I think they've just stuck this right near the end of the show. Well, not 3/4 through. They either should have gone what you've just said at the start, or to me, they should have left this either for the big opening or a massive ending. Like closing the show and say, oh, by the way, the big by the ways, we forgot something, and then just played the orb sound and just put Crackdown on the screen, and I reckon the place had erupted. But I guess we're all excited about this. Multiplayer, did I see as well?
Yeah. But the other one had.
I think the other one didn't it only have co-op. Am I right in saying the other one only had co-op?
No,
Crackdown 2 was completely multiplayer, wasn't it?
Oh, I thought it was only co-op.
Yeah. No.
I thought they made a point in saying this one's got multiplayer, so I must have heard it wrong. So.
No, Crackdown. I remember Crackdown had some of the best add-ons.
Yeah.
For that, for the 360 for that game, and it was very good fun. Did I see Breakable Worlds? Did I see potential there to be a bit like Battlefield, maybe?
Yeah, the clip looked like there was. Well, they put the explosions, and they showed the exploding barrels, which was a good part of the Crackdown, weren't it? Where you could chain the barrels together and stuff like that. So that looked pretty similar. Not much other news on it though, I guess. But that was the end of the show. We'll come to us conclusions in a second. We'll go round the table-esque thing, and we'll give us full impressions. I'll go with you, Ricky's first. Let's go with you. The overall show, full impressions, whatever. Go with it, man. Knock yourself out.
Okay, 100% improvement on last year. And they said it was going to be games, and it was only games. And there was no Kinect, no TV, pure, unadulterated games. I don't think. Having Halo and maybe Crackdown 3. Do you think they'll go Xbox only this time? Do you think he'll do PS3 on it?
Do you know what? They never said exclusive though, did they?
No, they didn't.
Nothing to say on Crackdown.
The last ones were.
Crackdown said only on Xbox, didn't it?
Did it?
I
didn't catch that.
It is Microsoft Studios, though, isn't it, that normally does it? But this guy comes from Cloud Sky or something? So David Jones says that's where he's from. But there's some really. I'm quite excited about it. The Halo bundle I like. Crackdown 3 I like too. I like The Witcher 3. There's some good stuff, but it's no. How long have we got to wait for it? I think
half the stuff was this year, and the most of it was next year again.
Yeah. So we don't know what Sony's going to do. But I think they've done better this year. Yeah. Much better. We're not going to be moaning about digital only and always online. No. There's no moaning this year. The only moaning is why can't we have them now? Which is a good thing. Because we're salivating for them.
So. I'll ask you one question. We'll come back to you for a score because we like to give a silly score, and it's hard to do when we've played the other shows. But we'll do it. Just questions for you. Has it sold you as a system seller? Obviously, you not having one yet.
Yes, for Halo.
Just for that, though.
I think so. Yeah, right. That's got me tempted.
Right.
And if Crackdown 3 is only, then yes, but it's not going to be this year, or it's at least going to be maybe at the very end of the year. So there's nothing going to make me go out and buy one tomorrow.
Right then, Steve. What about you? Your overall thoughts on over the whole show? Was it okay? Would you want more? And we'll come to a score later.
I was pretty happy after, leading up to the last couple of weeks with what they were bringing out. They obviously. This is the way they were going to go with it, and I think it's a good way to go every year, is to bring all that silly stuff out now in the open and just leave it to the games is what we want to see.
Yeah.
I was pretty happy, other than Fallout 4 wasn't available. Okay, we know that's nowhere near to be ready yet.
Until tonight at 3 o'clock.
Yeah. I will fall over and pass out if that is the case.
The question would be, would you fall out and go and buy a PS4?
I actually looked at the price. I looked at the prices the other thing. What could I trade to get a PS4?
Oh, it's easy.
That's another story. But this year pretty much got enough there going for what we want
Do you
this
think
year.
so?
I feel.
Really?
Well, you see, if we'd have had everything before, we'd all be moaning what's coming next year. So there's things there to pull you in for later in the year.
But you're happy as an Xbox One owner. You've seen. Yeah.
There's a few games this year that are going to. Well, Assassin's Creed's not exactly going to be a 5-minute game to play.
No.
And Forza Horizon as well.
Thoughts on your Kinect?
I'm happy. Kinect, I was expecting maybe more from the Kinect, but then understandably I can see why they're not putting it on there at the moment.
Right.
Maybe Gamescom, which is the next one I think coming up.
Yeah, but
we might get some more from it.
I'd be amazed if the show. For me, E3 is the show you show your hand straight away. You can't be waiting for Gamescom, in my opinion. But anyway, you two are both happy. We'll come for a score in a sec. My overall thoughts, I'm with Ricky, way better than last year. However, I'm a bit going on the, not negative, but disappointed as an Xbox One owner, and I'll just tell you the reasons why in a short space. There was too many of what we've already seen got before. The Halos, I know that Crackdown's brilliant, and I'm even going to put Tomb Raider, if you analyse the entire show, you've got Tomb Raider, Halo, Crackdown, Call of Duty, which the list goes on. I think in that entire show...
Yeah. But if you've had too many IPs...
Well, no, but I don't want to be negative, but you know, if you go back on history of E3s, they are full of brand new IP, new games. This one, for me, just too many of what we've already seen, and it's pushing out the boat of, we'll play the hand safely. I would have liked to split down the middle, and if you actually analyse this show, for my opinion, it is literally everything we've seen before with a few tiny new things. To me, it should have been 50-50. And with you, Steve, on Kinect, I am shocked they didn't go anything else. And I think, if I'm being truthful, if I was Microsoft, I wouldn't have had Harmonix guy on the stage at all.
No, I totally agree.
That was a horrible moment in the show for me. He looked so uncomfortable. But it was way better than last year, but it wouldn't be hard. Scores, guys, as I say, hard to give. It's just a bit of fun. Ricky, out of 10, what they done?
7.
7. What about you, Steve?
9. 9 out of 10.
A 9? Seriously? You're going to get
No, I think so. I mean, if you took it the other way around, look.
You are going to get some stick for that, I'll tell you.
If you think about it, if it was the other way around and had too many new IPs, they'd be going, well, where's Halo? Where's the next Halo?
No, but I was just saying 50-50. I want half and half. I want new games that we've never seen.
Well, I think there's more games to come with this year, with more announcements.
Well, no, they can't. Well, they've just had their hour and a half to give you that.
I know. No, I think... Well, he did say that it was going to be jam-packed. We didn't know what we were going to put in there. We got so much to talk about.
The same stuff, in my opinion. But anyway, scores on the doors. You said a 9. Very surprising.
9 for me, yeah.
I will give a 7. So it was really a 7 for me, yeah, guys. I was just too much of the old stuff for me. But we shall see. Like we say, I don't know. Are you staying up for the Sony one, Ricky, later on?
No, I can't. I've got to be on site at about 9 tomorrow morning. So that'll kill me if I do.
Just to give the guys who's listening to the show, we are going to plan a very similar thing tomorrow night. These guys are obviously going to watch the show sometime tomorrow. So around about the same time, if any of you live viewers, and there's a few of you, we will be doing this exactly the same time-ish. So keep an eye out. We're going to listen to the Sony one tonight and do exactly the same. So hope you enjoyed it, guys. This was a new thing. We are on camera. It's worked out coolly. After a few teething problems, this may be the way forward. There's some feedback. Did you like it? Did you like the quality? What is it come out as? I'm obviously going to release this as an audio one as well for you guys, but this is and will be on my YouTube channel. It broadcasts live on there and gets uploaded up there. So if you want to watch it video, you can watch it. So from us all, hope you've enjoyed the Microsoft keynote, and until tomorrow night, it's bye from me. Bye.
Yep. See you later. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.